Okay, let's start this for real.
Yay.
Hello
That's
and welcome to Story on the Spot. We always like to start off with like a little technical hiccup. It's really fun for everybody, and it makes us look really smart. So my name is Clark Huggins, and I am the creator of Reckless Deck and Reckless Deck Psyche, the tool that we're going to be using today to create a brand new story out of nothing, except what we come up with. And I have an amazing guest, Mr. Greg Manchess, who is really I feel strange saying celebrated illustrator, but I feel like that's kind of true, right? I mean, how does one refer to themselves when their work has really made an impact on illustration for like a couple of decades now?
wow. I could say that I'm celebrating still being alive and working. That's one thing.
Fair. I love it.
But
We'll take
entering
it.
the Hall of Fame has been a nice late development that keeps me thinking, well, now I can quit.
Yeah, so you had
How
just
far you
mentioned that
go?
right before we started. So Society of Illustrators Hall of Fame, is that what you were referring to?
Yeah, yeah,
Congratulations, that's
yeah.
fantastic.
Thanks. Yeah, this autumn. It's something I you don't think about along the way. You just
Okay.
keep working, you know. I didn't plan to do that. I didn't set out to do that. I just set out to try to do the best work I can. And it's awfully nice though. It makes you turn around and go, oh, wait, so you can't argue with me on what I'm teaching you, and I don't have to take any crap from anybody anymore.
Oh, well, that really changes my plan for this live stream, but okay. So I always like to start these by because I have such really interesting people with diverse backgrounds and careers
Hmm.
that there's two things I really want to talk to you about, and I want to try to not make it 45 minutes of just chatting with you, which is
Yeah,
always really easy to do
I
when I
know.
get to hang out with you.
We get
Um,
carried away.
the first thing is you have had some extremely cool jobs in your illustration career.
Yeah.
And I remember this back from the very first IMC, seeing your work, in your presentation and stuff. And I remember that pirate job. And I
Yeah.
just remember sitting there going like, I can't believe somebody got to do this for a job. That's
Yeah. I
and so
know.
I kind of wanted you to, if you could like just share with us and everybody, like what are some of your like your top three or your top five like standout, extremely cool jobs that you've gotten
Oh,
to do.
wow. Wow, that's tough because there's a lot of them. A small one that's really quite public and pretty big, but is still not seen by most people, except they see it, don't realize I worked on it, are the mission patches for the astronauts I've been doing. That's been really fun, and especially like calling up the astronauts and talking art, and hey, what are you
Wow.
doing? Oh, we're in the tank today. They're, in the swimming pool. It's mimicking zero
So
gravity.
you're
Or
not talking to them like, like on the ISS about
I've done that actually.
what? Seriously?
Yeah. I'm not kidding. I was here working. My phone rang, my cell phone. I picked it up. I looked at the area code, didn't recognize it, put it back down. And like the next day, I got a email that said, "Hey, Greg, tried calling you from the space station. This is Hopper. He was one of the commanders on the
Oh my
thing."
God. So
I'm
all of
like,
those.
"What?" And I hung up on him. I just and so about a week later, phone rings, no warning. Picked it up, didn't recognize the area code, put it down. Hey, Greg, just thought, I got on my email right away. I said, I'm here. I'm here. Call me
Wow.
back. About a
So
half hour later, phone rings. I hit the button and they're on the space station. They're in the cupola talking to me on my
wow.
cell phone. And it
That's
sounds like we're talking now. I mean,
that's incredible.
it was amazing. It wasn't like
Yeah, like
You know,
yeah, like
no, it was just crystal clear. And we spoke for about a half hour and just talking about art. And what are you over now? Oh, we're over Australia right now. I'm watching the
that's
sun come up. Now we're over, Africa. I'm watching thunderstorms, lightning cutting across the clouds. Incredible, so
that is incredible. So
yes.
everyone, everyone watching, just keep in mind that the next time you see that number that your cell phone says, potential spam,
That's right.
it's it could be astronauts.
Potential ISS. Yeah. Unbelievable. Yeah. We laughed about that. I hung up on him twice. But other than that, the Pirates was a big job. But the next one that pops into mind was working with the Cohen brothers on Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
That's so cool.
Being able to, I mean, when I got that job, I asked the art director, so do I work for the Coen brothers or with the Coen brothers?
Oh,
And turned out I was working with them. Art director ducked out and I was on my own working with the Coen brothers in their Tribeca place, editing room,
that's awesome.
down in their basement of their building. And I went down there and, there they are. I had to do everything I could not to gush, not to, bow down and not to be a fanboy and all that stuff and try to keep my cool. It worked, luckily, but not so fast because I screwed up the first appointment. Yeah, I thought it was at 1 o'clock, and actually I opened my thing up on the calendar and it was at 10 a.m. And they called me
Oh,
at 10:15 and said, "So you coming?" And I
oh my
went, "Yeah,
God.
1 o'clock." And they went, "No."
Oh man.
Oh, God. Hangs up on astronauts and shoves the Coen brothers in the corner. Great, brilliant.
Yep, yep. So
Good way to start a career.
I am definitely seeing a through line so far.
Right. Well, that pirate shop, they contacted me and they said, "Hey, we want you to do 10 murals." And I said, "Wow, that's great. What's it on?" And they said, "Well, they found an actual pirate ship and they're going to do a whole show that goes around the country on the actual pirates by National Geographic." I was like, "I'm in. This is great. How much time do we have?" 12 weeks. I'm like, okay, I've got a month worth of work before I can even start.
Oh, I need to think of
Now,
that.
now I'm down to 8 weeks. So I did 10 murals in 8 weeks. I was hustling.
Wow.
Luckily, 4 of them were just portraits, but the others were scenes full of 30, 40 people.
That's right.
I'm in a garage with all my art buddies in Portland, Oregon, and Tacoma, Washington, just putting on pirate hats and,
Shoot.
cardboard swords and all kinds of stuff. Just taking shots and trying to get reference. So I was doing thumbnails in the morning, getting OKs in the afternoon, penciling them in the evening, starting the next day on a painting, stopping, penciling, shooting reference, starting a paint. I mean, it was insane
Yeah.
for
Which
8 weeks.
And I feel like this is the moment where I want to transition into the other thing because I feel like it's like a perfect. I can think of another job you did where you created a really punishing schedule for yourself that lasted like almost a year.
Yeah. Timberline?
Yeah,
Yeah. Timberline. I thought, well, this is my book. I get to choose how much time it takes me to do. And they said, no, we need it by X date. And that was 11 months out. 11 months to do 123 paintings. And
that's insane.
yeah, that's what I thought. And I thought, well, here we go. So I dove in and the first 3 months I cranked out 49 paintings. And then and then I slowed down in April because I was a little dizzy. You know? Yeah. And then I rocketed to November of that year. As soon as I took the last paintings to the photographer, I had a cold. like
Yeah.
instantaneously.
Oh, sure, sure.
Oh, my throat feels funny. Boom, onto the
Yeah.
couch. Wasn't sick the whole year. But anyway, I wasn't even sure I could do it. I had paintings all over the walls in Portland and in New York. So I'd have 20 to 30 paintings going all at one time. I'd walk over and put a little,
Oh, no way. Okay.
yeah, like today I'm doing ice. Oh, that needs a little something right
So
there.
you were
And
just like assembly lining it across like all of these different paintings that had ice in them?
I thought I was, but mostly it turned out to be, well, today I'm going to do all faces. So I just did faces everywhere. Tomorrow I'll do all snow and backgrounds.
Okay.
And then
So
this day I'm going to do complicated stuff.
so what is in your evolution as an illustrator, right? You already had been, you were very well established in your career long before you thought of doing Timberline. So
Yeah.
what changed? What happened in your head to make you suddenly go, the painting, you didn't stop with the painting, but you're like, there's something more that I got to do here.
Yeah. Storytelling.
Yeah. So what
Finally
happened?
realizing that I like to tell stories with my images. So I was facing a lot of challenges along the way, a bunch of walls. First wall was you can't get a job out of school. Second wall was you can't freelance after that. And third wall was you can't oil paint. And another wall, just wall after wall. Financial miseries and things that happened in my life and trying to work around. But the paint kept evolving because I always returned to the paint. And as long as I could return to the paint, things were calm. Right.
Mm-hmm.
It never failed me if I was engaged. And so far now, when I see it fail, I know it's me not paying attention. And then I just correct it anyway and keep moving. But the thing was, Timberline painting, that first painting was all about storytelling. And I realized that I was challenging people to read into the image all the time because I like that.
So, but again, like what went on for you when I remember you did a demo, like one of those DVD things while you were painting the
Yes,
Timberline painting.
I did this DVD on how I paint, and before the film crew showed up at my door, I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't want to do another portrait. I thought that would be given into easy, I guess, So I wanted to do something difficult, but I only had 24 hours left to figure this thing out. And I was talking to Irene, and she had suggested I do a guy riding a polar bear because I like snow. And she's right. I do. I love painting snow. And I thought, not riding a polar bear, but polar bears are involved. And boom, that within hours, I was onto that painting, modeling and pulling stuff out of my closet to put on. I had the pirate sword is in there, the whole deal.
Mm-hmm.
And then created curiosity in that enough for people to say, what the heck is going on with that guy?
Yeah.
And that's where I started to realize, oh, that's really what I love to do, is generate the questions. But I love to give answers to that. Not like it's the joke you can't understand.
Got it.
It's the joke with a punchline.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it's done. Anyway, but there's building curiosity through storytelling is fascinating to me. I see so many of the older illustrators that I admired all the time doing illustration that has just that moment you're looking for, that you can linger on, that you can savor and keep coming back to. I admire that. I love it. And I try to put it in my work.